We're going to tie the Charles Bickle 401 CDC pattern. This is supposed to be one of the original CDC emerger dry flies. It's just going to be a two-part fly. We're going to strip the peacock quill clean, and then we'll use the CDC. I think from looking at pictures of his flies, it looks like he wrapped the stem, but we're going to clip and trim ours. Strip your peacock herl rather. Make sure you have enough clearance at the top because we're going to tie it in tip first. The peacock material, the color is very good, but it also adds a nice segmentation. To strip the fibers, just run your thumb and index finger down toward the butt of the herl, and that will strip it clean. You don't need to apply too much pressure. Tie in the peacock herl. This is one of those patterns where you can tie it smaller than the hook size. So this is a 16, and I'm going to tie about a size 18 fly on a 16 hook, so it'll fish much smaller. Wrap the peacock. You can see the nice segmentation there from the natural color of the peacock. Clip and trim. By clipping it further from the stem of the CDC, you can utilize the longer section. So essentially you're going to be tying in a double-sided CDC wrap. Split your thread, insert the material. I'm using a UTC 70. It lays flat. If you let the thread unwind, you can split it quite easily with your bodkin. Wrap the CDC. I like to push the fibers forward as I wrap. And there's the 401. I tied this to imitate a midge or emerging midge because of the simplicity. Today we're going to tie an Arpo fly. We're going to tie this more to represent a midge, so it's going to have a down wing. And normally you would use just one CDC feather to tie one fly, but today I'm going to layer the lighter color over the darker color CDC, so we'll try to incorporate two colors into this fly. I have the CDC clipped in. This is a very minimalist fly design pattern. I split my thread and inserted the CDC. I'll spin up the thread. If you were tying on a bigger hook, you could do a dubbing loop and then spin the dubbing loop. I palmered the CDC, and now I'm letting my thread unravel. Next, we'll pick out the palmered CDC gently with a bodkin. Now that the CDC is picked out, with my index and thumb, I'm going to start sweeping it gently toward the eye of the hook. I captured the longer pieces of CDC with a loose securing wrap. I trimmed off some of the stray bits on the body. 2 securing wraps and a whip finish to sweep back the wing. Finding the desired length of the wing, I'm going to pinch it between my index and thumb and forefinger, and then use a lighter to clean up the longer ends of CDC. You can see the singe marks, just brush those out. Very impressionistic, very simple. This would be perfect winter searching pattern. If you wanted to tie a mayfly, you could do an upright wing. If you wanted to tie it more emerger style, you could leave the body a little bit looser. But really think this was a clever pattern. Good design. Italian made. You can see how well the CDC floats. We're going to tie a crippled midge. This is one I saw online. from a Instagram feed. I think it was Semper fly tying. We're gonna change this one up a little bit though. We have a stripped quill. We'll do that for the body. Peacock curl quill. And then we'll do our CDC. We'll mix the CDC colors, slate gray and natural, and then a grizzly hackle. Maybe a pinch of dubbing as well. Tie in the body material. Normally I would clip and trim, but I'm just gonna take the bunch from the stem. Tie in that head section and then work your thread down. Tie in your grizzly hackle with a little bit of hare's ear. You could do a flashier dubbing here. That would make the pattern really pop. I did 3 turns of hackle and then tied the hackle off under the CDC wing. You trim down the underside of that hackle, and then you trim up the CDC as well. This is an interesting pattern because if you don't know if those tufts of CDC are the wings or if one is the body or one is a swept back wing. It's very impressionistic. I tend to stay away from patterns with hackle and CDC, but this is one I would definitely want to try out. I think it'd be a good winter searching midge pattern. And then you have the benefit also doing some on-stream alterations. You could trim off a wing, front wing or back wing, and that would give you a completely different looking fly. So very versatile, very cool. I like this pattern. We're gonna spin up a simple midge pattern. We're gonna use calf tail and we're gonna twist it and furl it for the body. And then the body is made of calf tail. Tie in your calf tail. Twist up your calf tail so it's almost furling on itself, quite tight. Once you have the desired length, you can let the calf tail furl on itself and then trap it and tie it off. This one's a little bit thick. I usually do it quite a bit thinner. I like to take a marker and mark up the body a little bit. You don't have to. The blue dun is good for the wing color, but I don't like it for the body color. Go ahead and fold that end over and tie it down for the wing. Tie in and wrap your hackle. Wrap the hackle, trim the wing. It's not a dainty midge pattern, maybe good for still water, but 2 material fly can't be beat. And then I'll show you a slimmed down version. There's a slimmed down version with an upright wing. This might be more practical for your tailwaters or rivers. But there's a lot you can do with it. You could eliminate the calf tail wing entirely and tie in a CDC wing or a CDC hackle, and that would change the dynamic of the pattern as well. But it's another midge dry, so give it a try. We're gonna tie a smoke jumper pattern today. We have a size 20 down eye dry fly hook and a stripped peacock quill. It's dyed purple, but I don't know if that's gonna show up. Then we have a regular piece of peacock curl and some slate gray CDC. Tie in your peacock quill. I like to leave some of the fibers on. Gives it a little buggier look. Wrap the body. Tie in your CDC feather. We're going to fold the feather back over the peacock curl thorax. So 2 loose wraps and then pull to the desired length. Tie in your peacock. Fold over the wing. It's a nice little midge emerger pattern. If you tied it bigger, it could be a mayfly emerger too.